Welcome back to Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. We're doing our first trial, and we're going to catch this guy in his lies. So this says check his ninth statement and present some autopsy reports. So let's do that. So you see the bar there. If you fail, you get docked points, and if you keep fucking up, you lose it. Okay. Aha! I see. Objection! First one of many. Objection! Found the body at 1 p.m., are you sure? Yes, it was 1 p.m. for sure. Well, I find that hard to believe. Your statement directly contradicts the autopsy report. The autopsy notes the time as after 4 p.m. There was no body to find at 1 p.m. How do you explain this? This is trivial. The witness merely forgot the time. After his testimony, I find that hard to believe. Mr. Sahwit, why were you so certain you found the body at 1? That's a really good question. Great job. Way to put him on the spot. That's all you have to do. Point out contradictions. Lies always beget more lies. See through one, their whole story falls apart. Yay! Wait, I remember now! Would you care to give your testimony again? You see, when I found the body, I heard the time. There was a voice saying the time. It was probably coming from the television. But, it was 3 hours off, wasn't it? I guess the victim must have been watching a video of a taped program. That's why I thought it was 1. Terribly sorry about that misunderstanding. Really? I see. You heard a voice saying the time on a taped program. You may cross-examine the witness. You knew what to do. I've got this one. Sure do. Are you sure it was a television and not a radio? Well, no, I guess it could have been a radio. Incidentally, there was no radio on the premises. There was only one large television. Right. I can't put my finger on it, but something seems fishy. The witness has testified. He heard the time. Well... Doop-a-doo-doop-a-doo-doop-doop-doop-doop. Boop. One way to tell... one way to know if you've gotten something right is if you hear the objection or that's it or hold it and the music stops. That's a good indication that more times out of not, and you'll see the health bar go away too, that you've made a successful choice. The prosecution has said that there was a blackout at the time of discovery, and this record proves it. You couldn't have heard the television or a video. Ah! The defense has a point. Do you have an explanation for this, Mr. Sahwit? No, I find it quite puzzling myself. Quite. Wait, I remember now. Mr. Sahwit, the court would prefer to hear an accurate testimony from the very beginning. These constant corrections are harming your credibility. That seems rather distraught. Duh! My apologies, Your Honor. It must have been the shock of finding the body. Very well. Let's hear your testimony once more. Actually, I didn't hear the time. I saw it. 'Cause my name is Sahwit, see? There was a table clock in the apartment, wasn't there? Yes, the murder weapon. The killer used it to hit the victim. That must have been what I saw. You saw a clock. I guess that would explain it. The defense may cross-examine the witness. Gladly. Wait just a minute. The murder weapon wasn't a clock. It was the statue. So how is this supposed to be a clock? What? You with your objections, your evidence? Who do you think you are? An attorney. This is my job. Just answer the question. Hey, I saw it there, okay? That's a clock. Your Honor, if I may. Yes, Mr. Payne. As the witness stated, this statue is indeed a clock. The neck is a switch. You just need to tilt it, and it says the time out loud. And it doesn't look like a clock. I submitted it as a statue. My apologies. I see. So the murder weapon was a table clock after all. Well, Mr. Wright, it appears that the witness's testimony was correct. This is a clock. Do you have any problems with it? I've got to avoid hitting a button by mistake. There's a gaping hole in his testimony. The only way he could have known the weapon was a clock was to hold it in his hand. Yet the witness testified that he's never entered the apartment. Clearly a contradiction. Indeed. The witness knew it was a clock because he went into the apartment. You're lying. You were inside the apartment on the day of the murder. No, yeah? Prove it. Prove I was there. I'll do better than that. I'll prove you killed her. You struck her with the clock, and the shock of the blow triggered the clock. That was the sound you heard. Order! Intriguing. Please continue, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Sahwit, the sound you must have left quite an impression on you. Understandable, since the murder weapon just spoke as you hit the victim. That voice was burned into your mind. That's why you were so certain about the time. Oh, what's the meaning of this? This is all baseless conjecture. Baseless? Just look at the witness's face. Would the witness care to elaborate? Did you strike the victim with the clock? That day, never. Look, Shut up, I hate you! It was him, I tell you! I saw him! He killed her, and he should burn! Give him death! Your Honor, a moment, please. There isn't a shred of evidence supporting the defense's claim. Mr. Wright, you claim the sound the witness heard came from the clock. Do you have any evidence? This whole case is riding on this. I better think through it a little carefully. The sound Mr. Sahwit heard was definitely the clock. A fact which you can clear if you simply sound the clock. May I have the clock? I ask the court to listen very carefully. I think it's 8:25. That certainly is a strange way to announce the time. Well, he is the thinker, after all. So we've heard the clock. What are your conclusions? Mr. Payne, can you tell me what time it is now? It's 11:25. Ah! As you can see, the clock is exactly 3 hours slow. Precisely the discrepancy between what Mr. Sahwit heard and the actual time of death. So, Mr. Sahwit, try talking your way out of this one. You forgot one thing. Uh-oh. While it may seem that the clock is running 3 hours slow, it proves nothing. How do you know it was running 3 hours slow the day of the murder? If you can't prove that, you don't got a case. He's right. How am I gonna prove it? Damn it. Mr. Wright, it seems you lack the critical evidence to support your claim. That means I cannot allow you to indict the witness, unfortunately. This ends the cross-examination of Mr. Frank Sahwit. I come all the way down here to testify, and look what happened! You treat me like a criminal and I lost my hair! You lawyers are all slime. I almost had him. Sorry. There's nothing I can do. Not so fast, Mr. Sahwit. Uh-oh. Mia? Chief? Listen up, Wright. Don't throw this one away. Not like this. Just think. It's over. I can't prove the clock was slow. Nobody could prove it. Well, yes. But that doesn't mean you can't still win. Try thinking outside the box. Don't waste time doubting the facts. Assume the clock was 3 hours slow, and think about it. Ask yourself, why was the clock 3 hours slow? Figure out the reason, and you'll have your proof. Right? Can you think of a reason? Wait a minute. Maybe I can prove it. You must have evidence somewhere. Find it and let him have it. Well, Mr. Wright, you say the clock was running slow. Have you found evidence to support your claim? Of course. There is a piece of evidence that I can use. What? Tough words. Pull it off. Well, let's see the evidence that proves why the clock was running slow. The victim had just returned home from abroad the day of the murder. As we know, the time difference between here and Paris is 9 hours. When it's 4 p.m. here, it's 1 a.m. the next day. The clock wasn't 3 hours slow, it was 9 hours fast! The victim hadn't reset the clock since returning home. That's why the time you heard on the clock when you struck her dead was wrong. Proof enough for you, Mr. Sahwit. Or should I say, Mr. Did It. That is what's known as a breakdown. Get used to those. Very minimalist, I must say, for the first one, but fairly accurate. Well, this case has certainly turned out differently than we expected. Your witness? He was arrested and has been taken away, Your Honor. Very well. Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor? I have to say, I'm impressed. I don't think I've ever seen someone with completed defense so quickly, and to find the true culprit at the same time. Thank you, Your Honor. At this point, this is only a formality, but the court finds the defendant, Mr. Larry Butts, not guilty! And with that, court is adjourned. Turns out Frank Sahwit was a common burglar. He posed as a newspaper salesman to check to see where people went out of their houses. And that day, when Larry went to her apartment, the victim wasn't home. After he left, he let himself in to do his dirty work. While he was searching her place, the victim returned. Flustered, he grabbed the nearest object he could find. Can't believe I won. Ha! Right, good job in there. Congratulations. Thanks, Chief. I owe it all to you. Not at all. You fought your own battle in there. It's been a while since I've seen a trial with such a satisfying end on such a satisfying note. I've never seen the Chief looking this happy. If she's this glad, imagine how Larry must feel. My life is over! You're supposed to be happy, Larry. What's wrong now? Oh, Nick. Don't worry about me. I'll be dead and gone soon. Wait, no, I mean... Bad bet. Larry, you're innocent. The case is closed. Huh? But my Cindy Wendy's gone, man. She was... never mind. Congratulations, Harry. Harry? Yes, I can practically see the headlines now. Harry Butt's innocent. Oh, thank you. I really owe you one. I won't forget this. Let's celebrate. Dinner? Movie? No, I couldn't. Hey, I'm the one who got you off the hook. Hey! Take this. It's a present. A present? For me? Wait, wasn't this the evidence that... Actually, I made this clock for her. And I made this one for her and one for me. Really? You made this? Well, thank you. I'll keep it as a memento. Yo, Nick. Can you believe it? I was so into that chick, and she was playing me for a fool. Don't it make you want to cry? Larry. Are you so sure? Excuse me? I think she thought quite highly of you in her own way. But you don't gotta sympathize with me, okay? No, I'm not sympathizing, really. Isn't that right? Right. Don't you have something to show your friend? Something that proves how she felt? Oh, yeah, that's right. Check this out, Larry. Proof positive you weren't some chump. Huh? What about it? This is the clock you made for her, right? And she took it with her. Whatever, she probably just needed a clock, that's all. You think so? It's a pretty heavy clock to be taken while traveling. Well, make of it what you will. Hey, Nick. I'm glad I asked you to be my lawyer. Really, I am. Thank you, man. Hope that made him feel a little better. Right. I hope you see the importance of evidence now. Also, hopefully you realize that things change depending on how you look at them. People, too. We never really know if our clients are guilty or innocent. All we can do is believe in them. And in order to believe in them, you have to believe in yourself. Right? Listen, learn, and grow strong. Never let go of what you believe in. Never. Well, I think our work here is done. Shall we be off? Yeah, I guess so. How about dinner on me? We'll drink a toast to innocent butts. Yeah! Oh, speaking of Harry, you were saying part of the reason you became a lawyer was because of him? Well, yeah, part at least. You'll have to tell me more about it sometime. Maybe over drinks? Oh man, Phoenix, you lucky bastard! And so my first trial came to a close. Larry slapped me on the back and said, "Gee, Nick, it's good to have friends. But I'm pretty sure he's not gonna pay us. Unless you count the check he gave to... unless you count the clock he gave to Mia. I didn't know it then, but that clock was soon going to be the center of another incident. And my promise to tell the chief about me and Larry would be one promise I wouldn't be able to keep. Ugh. Yay! Saving progress! Alright! Cool. Alright. So we made it through our first case. Cases will get longer and longer as games go on, and especially the last cases in games. But early on, this game's actually kind of short. But that will do it for case number 1. Turnabout, or the first Turnabout. Next time, we'll start Turnabout Sisters. Thanks for watching.